My name is Angela Ivy, and this is my stance against net neutrality. What is net neutrality? It actually refers to the set of regulations adopted by the Obama administration in an effort to protect the customer or consumer from big business and internet service providers. To put it simply, though, under net neutrality regulation, internet service providers can't throttle bandwidth in favor of higher paying content providers like Netflix or Hulu. To get a better understanding, though, let's watch this short video. So, where do these regulations come from? What's the history? The basis for the net neutrality regulations was actually first instilled back in the 1880s to regulate monopoly railroad companies so that one business wouldn't have an unfair advantage over the other. Then it was revised in the 1930s to fit the utility telephone service. Uh, it was referenced kind of as Ma Bell or Bell telephone systems as we used to know it. As you can imagine, though, neither of these could possibly compare to today's technological world. Just as an example, here is how we currently deliver content. It comes from the internet down to a tier 3 network, and then it is delegated off or branched off to the appropriate cable operator or internet service provider. The internet service provider is the one we're really interested in this conversation because they're the ones that would have the ability to promote the necessary transactions and to have clients pay to have their streaming services get the fast route, if you know what I mean. Then it comes through a series of switches and devices to your home, to the device you're currently on, and then in the screen on that device. So, what kind of problems could you possibly imagine coming from net neutrality? I mean, everyone seems to think it's such a great thing, but what we're seeing here is unequal usage amongst patrons. Customers are paying the same monthly fee to access the internet and everything on it. However, they're using very different amounts of bandwidth to do so. Some people make it online just to check email and Facebook a couple of times, while others are streaming and downloading massive files. Another problem that we see with net neutrality is bandwidth that's just wasted. Some of this stuff is streamed and downloaded and then never viewed or done anything with. It's a waste, especially when compared to the medical and life supporting devices that can't function when there's not enough bandwidth for them to work properly. Also, there's no content regulation for our more persuasive users and those that are not really able to make better decisions on their own. What we also see from net neutrality is digital pirating and more opportunities for digital hacking offenses. So, what could the repeal of net neutrality do for consumers? Okay, so fast lane or zero rating bandwidth access enables smaller content providers to compete in a larger market. They can come up against these large established giants that they could never fathom competing against and possibly make a name for themselves in the coming market. Less neutrality regulation will lead to more investments by internet service providers, which will further drive innovation and also support that technological infrastructure. The ensuing market competition you're going to see obviously spur a pricing battle between these vendors and also a giant leap in quality improvement to try to win over these consumers. The cost of internet regulation is high, and the savings alone you're going to see trickle down to consumers via internet service providers and other vendors. All right, so there's been a huge back and forth on the issue of net neutrality. Although, they were formally introduced during the Obama administration, the battle still wages for a definitive answer on what some would call our last wild frontier, the internet. So here we are in 2019, waiting on the edge of our seats for a verdict on internet freedom to come hopefully in June of this year. With the backing of Ajit Pai and the current Trump administration, I feel this final repeal of net neutrality should actually stick. Thanks for watching my presentation and have a great day.
guys.